Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I'm here again 2 weeks, I think, since I last filmed, to do my empties and first melts and blends and things. Yeah, so been on holiday, it was great, fantastic. I've been home for about 10 days, so this is a little bit over a week's worth of melting. If you did want to see anything from the holiday, I know I did say I might put a video up or something, but it's too much work. But I did put some photos on my Instagram, which I think the name is like in my bio. Smell my melt. Not many, but just a few, just so if you wanted to get a flavor of, you know, where I was and what I did. So yeah, I will start with my empties like I normally do. I do have a few. I have been picking out things that were nearly finished, so I'll start with this one. Super Tarts, Palo Santo, Sage and Blackberry. I don't love this, and I feel like sage and blackberry combos for me are just like, I've never been like the biggest fan of them, and I feel like I'm heading further and further away. Every time I melt them, there's just, it's mostly the sage, because obviously I pardon me, I am a big blackberry lover, but sage is just something like, I can do sage blended with sorry, one thing I did bring back from Bali was not illness, but I came back with my asthma just being like up here. So because I had influenza just before we went, and then I think just planes, air conditioning, smoking, because there's a lot more smoke, you know, people smoke everywhere, fragrance pumped into hotel rooms, all of that sort of stuff, just because, yeah, I've definitely had worse asthma since I got back. But anyway, yeah, so this, yeah, it's the sage. I'm sure it's the sage, but sage I can deal with in kind of other herbal green blends, but with blackberry and fruits, I just don't love it. So, very strong, but not a repurchase. I might have some more of it, so I probably need to deal with that. But anyway, finish this scoop of L3 caramel apple and zucchini bread. I love this scent. I love the caramel apple oil. It's pretty much the only way I can do caramel apple type scents is the specific caramel apple oil. From a few different vendors it's okay, but I think L3's is my favorite. And with the zucchini bread, it is delicious. I have some more of this, but with cinnamon sugar as well, and that is just as good. It's just a bit different. So yeah, I love this. The only thing, it was really odd because I don't think I've ever had this with an L3 scoop, but you can kind of see there's like liquid there. It's separated, like just the last couple of scoops, it was just, there was all of this, and I don't know why. None of my other scoops have done it, but this one did. It was very strange. I've had other scoopables from other vendors separate, but I've never had L3 separate. Yeah, it's fine. It just was a thing. I definitely get this scent again though. I loved it and it was really strong. So from Super Tarts, I finished this Oklahoma clam, blueberry and biscuits. I love Oklahoma. I now have a bam bag to get through as well. This is just one of my favorite blueberry bakery scents. I couldn't even tell you why. It's just right. Like, it's just the blueberry is perfect. The bakery, the biscuit scent is really good. I couldn't tell you what type of bakery it smells like to me, because biscuits in America is a very different thing to biscuits for us, right? But it just is, it's just a nice bakery oil. That's it. And yeah, this is like got a beautiful, sweet, fruity kind of thing going on, but the biscuit smells really good with it. I just love it. So, and it's very, very strong. I finished Banner and Lucky from Super Tarts. This is cornbread, mac apple, vanilla ice cream, brown sugar, sweetened cereals, marshmallows, and sugary milk. So it's basically that magically delicious scent blended with Banner, which is like the cornbread and the apple. I really enjoy this because Banner is great because her cornbread is just a fantastic bakery scent again. It's not the same as other vendor cornbread. I haven't actually encountered a vendor that has the same cornbread as Super Tarts, but most of the other cornbread scents I smell really savory, but hers is not. You know, this is a really good mix of, it's sweet, but it's got that brown sugar, and it's really, really nice. And the apple's there, but it's not overwhelming. It's a really nice blend. I would get this one again, or I will get just Banner on its own. Like, either way, both really good, really strong. Super Tarts Autumn Splendor. So Marshmallow Fireside Palo Santo. Really simple, but just so perfect. I feel like I've had like Marshmallows Fireside Palo Santo from other vendors, and none of them have been as good as this version. The Super Tarts Palo Santo, it doesn't have kind of the smoothness that some of the others do. It's definitely more of a kind of like incense leaning Palo Santo, if that makes sense, which means that in some blends I prefer the other vendor Palo Santos, like Teddy Bees and Tea Time Tarts are probably my favourite. I can see my camera's struggling a little bit. Apologies if I go out of focus. But in a blend like this, when you've already got the smoothness and the sweetness coming from the Marshmallow Fireside, just the extra pep that you get from the Palo is so, so good. So I love this. I have another half bam of it. But yeah, definitely for such a simple, probably very frequently done combo, this version of Marshmallow Fireside and Palo Santo, absolutely my favourite. And really strong as well. Alright, now I've got a bunch of bags. I have a lot of bags. Doesn't look like a lot, but it is a lot. So the first thing I have here is Teddy Bees Smoke Show. So this is Marshmallow Musk Marshmallow Fireside Toasted Marshmallows. So I have enjoyed this scent, but I will say the first time I melted it, for some reason, was the time I enjoyed it the most. Every other time, it either just hasn't been as, I haven't smelled it as strongly, or it just hasn't been as appealing. And I don't know why. The first time I melted it was just like this beautiful, it was really sweet, slightly smoky, just a beautiful blend. And it is a beautiful blend, but and I've done it, I think I've melted it each time in my bedroom, because the first time I did it, it was in the bedrooms and it was great. But each other melt, I don't know, if maybe my nose was just off. I still want to get some more of it and try it again, because I just remember the magic of the first time I melted it, because I loved it so much. So I'm just putting my foot on the thing. But yeah, I don't know. So, and it hasn't thrown super well. But I just feel like it was so good that first time. I will try it again if it comes back. Insidious from Super Tarts. So this one is Beechwood Vetiver Cotton Candy, and I think it's Beechwood Vetiver Cotton Candy. Yep. So this one I've had for a very long time. This was from September 2020. And I had multiple clamshells of it before I bought this. This was one of the first Super Tart scents that I absolutely just fell in love with. It was just so unique. I'd never smelled anything like it. I loved it. And I have really enjoyed melting it the whole way through, but I feel like this last melt just kind of cemented for me that I think for me and Insidious, I think we are done, or maybe we need to take a really long break. I don't know. You know, I appreciate how much I loved it, but just I think just my scent preferences have changed, and it's a little bit sickening for me now, like the sweetness in the Beechwood Vetiver, and it never used to be. It's possible that it's cured in a way that I don't love, but I don't think so. I feel like it does smell the same, but just me, it's not it, it's me, basically. It's a great scent though. It threw really strongly right to the end, like, you know, getting close to 3 years old, this bag. Yeah, so have loved it. Won't be repurchasing Insidious, or at least, I don't know what it's called now. It will have a new name. But I won't be repurchasing it, or if I do, it'll be a long time in the future. Like, done for now. Dunzos. Dessa's Homespun Scents Haunted Dune Buggy. So this is charred mahogany, teakwood, sandalwood, and amber vanilla. I love this. It really smells like that smoked vanilla oil, though, but with extra stuff, not just that. And it even smells different cold to warm. Like, on cold, I definitely smell teakwood and mahogany. And it's a little bit like, because teakwood and mahogany can be very, I don't know, they're very heavy, masculine, woody scents, and they're a bit much for me. But warmed up, this beautiful, I guess it's the amber vanilla. Because it does smell, it's not as, like, smoky as the smoked vanilla, I guess. But it definitely had that kind of scent to it, you know. But I love it. I definitely want to get more of this. It throws really well. Like, to me, it's like an improved version of like a woody smoked vanilla. So I really, really appreciated that. This bag, I'll have to remind myself what it is. It was a loaf. I know that. This was blueberry cobbler and fresh baked bread from L3 Waxy Wonders. So I loved this combo. I will say towards the end, because again this loaf is definitely well over 2 years old. I think towards the end the fresh baked bread part of it maybe had died off a little bit, and I was mostly getting blueberry cobbler. Definitely that last melt was mostly blueberry cobbler. I know in its heyday though, when the fresh baked bread was strong, it was so delicious. Like just the bread note went so well. It just balanced out the sweet blueberry cobbler. Amazing. So I would definitely get this in again. I wouldn't get a loaf. I would get like a bunt pack or something, but I love that. And it threw strongly the whole way. It just, that fresh baked bread bakery side of it definitely has dialed down over time. The Pharmacist's Daughter Drifting Clouds. So this is amber, fresh air, and driftwood. It's not bad. It's a little bit kind of artificial, like cleaning product-ish. That fresh air, I think, is a very... Yeah, there's kind of a slight powderiness to it, but then the driftwood is nice. So it's alright, but it's not a favourite. It's a good one for making the house smell clean, I think. It throws pretty well. I don't think I need to get it again, though. Witches Be Crazy for Palo Santo. So this one is birthday cake, pecan waffles, sugar cookie dough, a pinch of cinnamon spice vanilla with Palo Santo. This one is okay. I think I've definitely... Witches Be Crazy is just not a big favourite of mine. I love Teddy B's pumpkin pecan waffle blend, or pecan waffles, she calls it. So many amazing blends of pecan waffles, but the Witches Be Crazy with the birthday cake and the vanilla and the spice, just it picks up this kind of artificial tone that I don't love. And that was particularly apparent because at the same time as melting this one, I was also melting the Beautiful Creatures, which is pumpkin pecan or pecan waffles, Palo Santo, and I think like sugar or vanilla milk or something. And that one is just so beautiful. Like, it's simple, and the Palo and the pumpkin pecan waffles really just shine. Whereas in this one, there's all this extra added sweetness, and it kind of smells a bit like there's like you've dumped like sugary milk and cinnamon on top of it or something. Like, it just doesn't, yeah. I feel like melting those two at the same time really just kind of solidified for me what I don't love about the Witches Be Crazy scent. So, not a repurchase. It did throw well, though. The Pharmacist's Daughter House of Death. So this one is Wood Sage, Sea Salt, Rustic Lodge, Palo Santo. Not a fan. It was okay. I mostly smell the Wood Sage and Sea Salt, and I'm just not a Wood Sage and Sea Salt person. Like, it's woody, but then it has this weird kind of powdery scent to it. I don't really smell Palo Santo in this either. Like I said, I really just smell the Wood Sage and Sea Salt. I don't know what Rustic Lodge is, but anyway. Throw medium to high, but yeah, not something I would get again. Super Tarts Grandma's House. So this one is fresh baked apple pie, chestnuts roasting on an open fire, and creamy brown sugar. This scent I really do enjoy. I will say though, because I've melted it a few times now, and each time I've really enjoyed it. This time was the first time I've melted it up here in my office, and I definitely noticed that when it first starts melting, it's a bit sickly. Like, I don't know if it's the creamy brown sugar or what it is, but it was a bit overwhelmingly sweet, and I was kind of like, oh, maybe I don't love that scent anymore. But after about an hour or so, that definitely settled, and it became a really nice, slightly chestnutty kind of apple pie scent. So I really prefer it after about an hour. I don't know why, it needs that time just to settle down with the sweetness. Great throw on this one. I don't need big quantities of it, but I would get it again. It is a really nice one. Maybe just melt it in a space that I'm not going to be in for the first hour, you know. Finally finished, it was 2 donuts of Rocky Horror. So Rocky Horror, I think it's now just going by like White Pumpkin and Fern or something. The scent notes are pretty much like white pumpkin, lilac, agave, fern, I think teakwood. Anyway, Rocky Horror is just one of my absolute favourites. Always has been, always will be. Well, I say that. And then I probably said that about Insidious, and I fell out of love with Insidious. But Rocky Horror I fell in love with not long after Insidious, and I'm still going strong on Rocky Horror. So, because it's just this incredible, deep, it does kind of feel twisted in a way. Like it does have floral tones, but I wouldn't call it floral. It has woody tones, but I wouldn't call it woody. It's feminine, but it's got this beautiful depth to it. It's just one of those incredible scents. You have to smell it to appreciate it. And I do feel like I don't reach for it all the time, just because I could potentially, like I could possibly kind of turn myself off it, and I never want to do that. I do have like another half band bag of it. So yeah, but absolutely love, love, love. Still super strong, even though that was from September 2020 as well. Vintage Chic Scents White Witch. So this is Rain, Bonfire and Crunchy Leaves. This was from June 2021. This is a scent I've gone through a bag of before. I did really enjoy it, although I think I'd heard that one of the scents had slightly changed when it was repoured. It is really nice. It's got this it's definitely got that smoky bonfire. But the rain and the leaves are really kind of dewy and fresh. Like they remind me a little bit of L3's Oregon Autumn. Like there's just a kind of sweetness there to the leaves. Yeah, they're less crunchy and more kind of fresh to me. But anyway, so yeah, I really enjoyed this one. It was kind of medium throw, I would say. I think it probably threw a bit better when it was not as old. Look, if I had a chance to buy this one again, I would. I know Vintage Chic Scents is wrapping up at the end of this year. And so far, I haven't, yeah, with my limited buying, I just don't, and I don't have that many Vintage Chic Scents I really want to go in for. It just doesn't feel like there's going to be a pre-order that grabs me to get in. But maybe at Halloween. There are a few of the scents that I do enjoy from Vintage Chic Scents are in that kind of Halloween zone, so we'll see them. Another one that I really enjoyed from Vintage Chic Scents, Dalia Deets. So she will go insane and take you with her in a sophisticated blend of white pumpkin and lilac. So the main reason I got this one is because I thought that it was probably a component of Rocky Horror, because Rocky Horror has the notes of lilac and white pumpkin, and I do think it is in there, although it is a different blend, but I can definitely kind of pick some similarities between the two. This one is it's a lot more feminine. I feel like it's got a bit of amber to it, but just that really pretty sensual kind of floral scent. It's really, really lovely. So I really enjoyed this. I was melting this in the lounge room. It threw quite strongly. So yeah, this is probably one that, again, if it did pop up, I would probably get it. But yeah, like that a lot. Marshmallow fluff. What did I do that with? So I've talked a bit about Yippee-Ki-Yay and Strawberry Pound Cake from Super Tarts and how much I love those two together. I really wanted to do that combo again, but I'm down to like my last little piece of Super Tarts Strawberry Pound Cake. I do have more coming. I did participate in the Super Tarts Band Bag pre-order that went up last week, I think, no, a couple of weeks ago. I was in Bali when I got a bunch of tags about it because everyone knows how much I love that strawberry pound cake. So I have 2 band bags of strawberry pound cake that will come eventually, but right now my quantities are small. So what I did was I took the strawberry pound cake marshmallow fluff and I blended it with Yippee-Ki-Yay, because the strawberry pound cake marshmallow fluff is similar. Like, it's obviously got the marshmallow fluff, so it's sweeter. Like, it feels like it's got a much more sweeter kind of icing note, but it's kind of similar. And yeah, you could tell, like, it definitely wasn't as good as the strawberry pound cake alone with the Yippee-Ki-Yay, because that marshmallow note just kind of interfered a little bit, I suppose. But it was still really nice. Like, I don't know what it is about strawberry pound cake with pine cookie blends, but you have to get onto it. It is so freaking good. I don't know why I started this band bag, by the way, because I've still got like 2 more Yippee-Ki-Yay clamshells. I've got so much Yippee-Ki-Yay because I love melting it on its own, and I love melting it in specifically strawberry pound cake blends, and just playing around with it. Lemon Bakery was also good with Yippee-Ki-Yay. So that was a good combo, but it would have been better with just the regular straight strawberry pound cake. I was going to look this up before I posted it. Anyway, I did do this sample of Jabberwocky from L3. I wanted to look up the notes because I feel like this is a blend that gets poured a bit, and I wanted to be talking about it. Sorry, just fixing the camera. But it just smells sugary to me. Kind of smells like cordial. It's really sweet. I don't know. I don't know what the blend is, but that's all I got on cold. That's all I got on warm. I didn't really love it. Yeah. It's just sweet. Through pretty well, I guess. Rose Girls Spruce Willis. So this one is like trees, I think flannel. Is it just flannel and blue spruce or something like that? Anyway, I've really enjoyed this one. I don't always love when Rose Girls does like masculine, like flannel and stuff with fresh scents. Like I feel like they all smell very cologne-like, and this one does have that element, but no, this one's just a really beautiful, deep tree scent. The flannel just, is it flannel or flannel sheets? I can't remember. Anyway, this gives it some extra oomph and depth and darkness, and it's really, really nice. Always get good throw from this one. I would get this one again sometime. And then the last empty before I move on to the other stuff, another labelless loaf. This one was, I've got some more of this scent. It's like smoked vanilla, Palo Santo Campfire Marshmallow. It's got more in it than that, but I can't remember what else. Anyway, it's a really, my Mallow Fireside maybe. It's really like, yeah, it's very, when I first got it, it was almost unbearably like smoky. Like it was so heavy on the smoked vanilla, which was, it had, smoked vanilla is really smoky. You know, it also kind of smells a bit like a certain type of incense or something, but it was a bit too much. But over time, this one really settled into kind of the sweeter marshmallow notes, and it got much better. It's got Campfire Mellow as well, I think. So yeah, definitely probably like the back third of the loaf is when I enjoyed this one the most, which is what I've been melting sort of over the last like 8 months maybe. Yeah, I think I was kind of melting this a bit towards the end of the cool season last year. So September, October, November, even though that's spring, it's still kind of cold here a lot of the time. And that's when I kind of really enjoyed this one the most. It was still really good this time, but I think the throw was starting to dissipate a bit. So I'm glad I finished it up. I think I do have some more of it because it was a really good blend. And I think I've talked about it a bit. So, yeah. So I probably don't need to repurchase it because I do have more, but it was a good one. Alright, so let me just move everything closer. Hang on. Alright, so now I'm moving on into the either stuff that I melted for the first time or combos that I did, that kind of stuff. So the first thing that I did was, and this is a combo I've had many times before. I've actually had a whole loaf of it, but this time I did it my own mix of it. Oregon Autumn and King of the North from L3. So Oregon Autumn is crisp, clean, and fallen leaves, fresh fallen leaves with a hint of rain. King of the North is rainstorm, black pepper, bergamot, and sexy pheromones. So I love both of these scents. Together they are magic. The kind of edge of a storm scent that the King of the North is, like fresh but stormy, with just the really sweet, crisp, juicy kind of rain and leaf scent that Oregon Autumn is. Like together they are just like, it's been since my very early days of, you know, melting wax. This was one of the first scents I fell in love with from L3, and I still just love it. I do like them separate, and I like them in other blends, which is why I've got them in scoops at the moment, but together I haven't encountered a combo with those two scents that's better than them together. Like they're just made for each other. Always throws really well. Love that combo. This bag feels kind of, like, I know it's the first time I've melted from this bag, but it already feels kind of half empty because it was like a, if it's like 4 ounce, so it's not like a regular pour. Anyway, King Orange, which is like patchouli, ocean water, or salt, or anyway, it's got like an oceany scent. It's got patchouli, it's got woodsy notes. It's incredible. It's just one of the best woody, earthy, oceanic scents out there. You just won't find one that's better. Like, it's so freaking good. Like, so good. Yeah, really strong. Just smell. It smells realistic, but at the same time, like, just the best possible version of realistic, you know, like fine-tuned to just be an amazing fragrance. But anyway, it's amazing. Definitely recommend that one. Teddy Bees Mrs. Mellows Cookies. So this one is Marshmallow Bomb, Signature Sugar Cookies and Beach Treats. I didn't love this. I mostly just smell beach nights, and if you know me with the beach nights, like, yeah, it really just smells like beach nights with like a, I can smell the Signature Sugar Cookies here, and I do love that scent, but I just feel like it doesn't, yeah, the two together just don't do each other any favors for me. Like, once upon a time, I think they would have used to, but now, not so much. Okay, back. Had to take a little break, but I'm back. Okay, where am I? So, I've talked about this one before, but it was the first of this bag of it, so I'll go again. L3's Huckleberry Harvest Wild Berry Mousse Jelly Donut. So this is an incredible berry blend. Like, it's so jammy and, like, it's sweet, but I don't know. I'm not familiar with Huckleberry Harvest oil. This is the only scent I've had it in. I do want to try it in more because this is just so incredibly juicy and jammy and just really, really delicious. I feel like I can smell jelly donut too, which is, and it doesn't often come through for me, but here, really can. So love this. Definitely will always repurchase it. Super, super strong too. I started my next bag of jelly rolls now. It used to be Starfleet. Oh no, I shouldn't untape that. I'm like, oh, there's some tape coming off, and then I realized the bag was ripped and I've taped it up. So this one was Starfleet. So this one's like a zucchini bread sugar cookie jelly donut scent, and it is by far and away my favorite like jelly donut bakery scent ever. Like, never had one that I can actually really smell like a jelly donut scent, but I can here. And this one, I have let it sit for a few months because I definitely remember from my last band bag, because I've already been through one band bag of this, that it needed cure time, like a few months to really pop. So melting it now, it was perfect. This is like a overfilled band bag. It was like, again, it was from, which is why it's not labeled properly. It was like extras and band bag over pours and stuff. And I'm so glad I got it because it's just one of my favorite bakery scents. It's just really comforting, really delicious. It throws really well. I love it. So Starfleet / jelly rolls. It's called jelly rolls, which I find confusing because she's also got jelly jam and rolls or something like that. Something very similar. And the names to me now are just too similar. But anyway, I thought I moved all the wax over, but apparently not enough. Okay, so I did some Rose Girl Sweater Weather with Hayden Row Brimstone, and I don't really know why. I wanted to blend the sweater weather with something, and I didn't want to blend it with, like, I have fruit combos, I have kind of creamy minty sweater weather combos. I want to go something kind of smoky and deep. And this smells like strong incense. Brimstone does. I think it has a driftwood in it, which is also like an incensey scent. So yeah, this is very much like deep, embery kind of, you know, yeah, incense and stuff. And sweater weather, obviously, you know, sweater weather with just their strong, really strong kind of tree notes and the slightly sweetness and stuff. So I enjoyed the combo. I think I did it roughly 50-50, maybe not even quite, and it still was very heavily sweater weather. Like, Brimstone is a very strong scent, but just sweater weather is so overpowering that I really needed to dial it down to make this blend really kind of pop out. Like, it was not bad. I could smell the brimstone a little bit, but it was mostly sweater weather with like just a touch of that kind of smoky, mystical kind of thing going on. So not bad, but if I blended it again, yeah, I would definitely dial the sweater weather right down. This bag of sweater weather is going to last forever because just you need so little of it. It is just so incredibly strong. Aspen, I think it's just Aspen and Birch from Super Tarts. This was really nice. This is the first time I've melted this. It's been sitting there for a little while. Yeah, it's a very crisp sort of tree scent. But then there is like, it's almost like a sweater, like almost like the creaminess from sweater weather is kind of living in there as well. Yeah, there's definitely a creamy sweet note in there too. I can't remember where that comes from. I don't know what oils are in here, but anyway. I really enjoyed it. It's really nice. It threw quite well. I think it might be a repurchase, maybe. I don't know. I don't know why I sat on it for so long. Like, I mean, it's a few months, but just like, this feels like a scent. It just, I did a bit of fishing around in my Super Tarts drawer this week, and I just went, oh, I haven't, it's a bit busy in there, in the Super Tarts bag drawer at the moment, and I went, oh, I haven't seen that one in months, so let's get on that. I did Huckleberry Harvest, which is a custom, I don't know if it's my custom, I think someone else has done this before, but anyway, from Kay, which is Marshmallow Fireside, Apple Harvest, and Fallen Leaves. I did it with some pumpkin pecan waffles. So I just wanted to add a little bit of bakery into the mix. And it was really nice. Like, I really enjoy this. Like, spiced apple kind of scents aren't always my thing, but this one just works really well. Like, the Apple Harvest is quite a spicy apple, but then the leaves and the Marshmallow Fireside, they just work really well. And it was still mostly the apple, the High Garden Harvest scent, but the pumpkin pecan waffles did add a really nice background to it. So next time, if I was going to do that combo again, I'd probably add more pumpkin pecan waffles just so that I got a bit more bakery, but still I did enjoy that combo and it threw quite well. L3 maraschino cherry, sugar cookie royale, vanilla buttercream frosting, vanilla butter fudge. This was okay. When I bought it, I was thinking of, and I've got it right here, this kind of bakery base, which is buttercream frosting, sugar cookie royale, and zucchini bread. I was thinking of that, which I really enjoy. And I thought that's what was in here, but this has got the vanilla butter fudge instead of the zucchini bread. And don't get me wrong, I like vanilla butter fudge, but I just think the zucchini bread in a combo like this is just a better, just adds a bit more depth to the blend, stops it from being too vanilla-like, I think. So I would have preferred this if it had the zucchini bread, but still this was pretty good. The maraschino cherry is definitely there, but it's not overpowering. Like, this is still a strong kind of creamy vanilla bakery scent with just a little bit of maraschino cherry. So it was good. But yes, I definitely would have preferred it. I don't know why I thought it had the zucchini bread. Just, I don't know, I didn't read it properly. So good, probably not a repurchase though. Teddy Bees, strawberry and cedar. So this one is crisp strawberry, hints of musk, smoked vanilla and cashmere cedar. This one, I really thought, even when this one arrived, that I was going to love it. I don't know how I feel about it. I think the strawberry, I mean, I've talked about it so often. I often have so many issues with strawberry scents. And yeah, this, I'm not going to say it smells like the really bad chemical kind of scent that I get from some strawberry oils, but there's definitely some that get to this kind of oversweet and kind of green territory. Like, they kind of smell at the same time like overripe and not, I don't know, weird. And that definitely is coming through really strongly. When I first smelled this, I smelled more of the smoked vanilla and stuff, and it was just like a little bit of strawberry, and I loved that. Like, cashmere cedar, a kind of smoked vanilla cashmere cedar with a little bit of strawberry, that was my jam. And that's when it first arrived. But now the strawberry smells artificial, I think is what it is. And the strawberry smells much stronger now, and it was much stronger when I melted it too. So I didn't really love it. It was quite strong. Maybe I can try mixing in some more kind of smoky scents or something to kind of bring it back to where it was. But yeah, something in the cure process for that has brought the strawberry out to a level that I don't love. Teddy Bees Late Night Bake. So this one is sweet lavender sugar cookies, pink sugar, and a background of Palo Santo. This I loved, and I really did not expect to, because I have had so many problems with Teddy Bees Sweet Lavender, like so many scents where it's been in, and it just has this like sickly, it's sickly, but it's also kind of soapy at the same time. Making the camera bounce around. Yeah, kind of soapy, weird, just don't love it. And I couldn't tell on cold because I could smell the kind of soapy lavender quite a bit on cold, but warmed up, it's just amazing. The main reason I got it, even though I know that I had issues with the lavender, was I always love Teddy Bees Sugar Cookie Blends and Pink Sugar and Palo Santo. Like those three scents together, which is literally boudoir, which is like one of my all-time favorite Teddy Bees scents. I went, if this ends up being boudoir with a little bit of lavender, then I am all over it. Now, I don't think it quite smelled like that, but it did smell really good. Definitely the lavender did not smell as strong on warm as it does here, because right here, right now, all I can smell is that kind of creamy lavender, and I just don't like it. But this one, I smelled, I think the Palo Santo is just what pulls this one together, and just, even though it's not like overly Palo Santo, it just, something about what it does in the combo is just incredible. So I loved it. I had it in the bedroom. I definitely melt it in there again. I can't swear that I'm always going to feel the same way about this one, because I feel like if that lavender even gets like a fraction stronger, whether it just be me picking up it more strongly or it getting stronger in the blend, then I think it's just not going to work for me anymore. But right where it is right now, it's perfect. And if it stays that way the whole way through this bag, then I will definitely get some more, because it was really, really good. I did some Super Tarts Strawberry Pancake Icebox Pie with some Vintage Cheap Scents birthday cake. I think I was hoping with this combo that it would like be, I don't know, like a kind of creamy, like kind of tone down the icebox cake, because the icebox cake is really strong in this. And eventually it did, but it took a few hours. The first few hours, all I could smell was the icebox cake. Couldn't even really smell strawberry pancake. And I only used like a tiny little tile of that and then one of these. So it was definitely more birthday cake heavy in the warmer than it was the Super Tart scent. But the Super Tart scent just absolutely overpowered everything. At least for a few hours. After a few hours it calmed down. I still wouldn't say it was that great though. Like the birthday cake just didn't add much that I liked. But at least the lemon icebox cake scent kind of died down. So yeah, it wasn't a winner. I'm just not in love with either of those two scents, I guess. So not repurchases, but they were fine. Magical Place from Hayden Rose. So this one is wood, spices, resins, mandarin, musk, and vanilla. This one was one that it never really hit the notes for me. Like, it smells, I think I was expecting the mandarin to be there and to really kind of cut down on the woods and the resins and stuff, and it's just, the mandarin's just absent. So this is quite a powdery, woody scent. So yeah, I don't love the scent, and the throw was not that strong. For a Hayden Rose scent in particular, I would say it was like light medium, which doesn't happen very much with me in Hayden Rose. So don't love that, wouldn't repurchase it. That's it. That's everything that I melted this week. So that's a fair bit. Yeah. Kind of mental blank now. Wax on the way. I suppose I could provide an update on that before I finish up. So I will be sending out an order with 2 things in it from the forwarder this week. One will be Rose Girls order from the Mario pre-order. I did go in on that. There were some really good blends in there. And then when I got back, so I placed that order before we went away on holidays. And when I got back, I think I'll blame sleep deprivation, because on the Friday, I think literally the day we got back, or no, it would have been the Saturday actually, so I can't blame it that much. I was still tired on Saturday. Anyway, waffling. Saturday, we were back. We were a little bit under budget with the holiday. I went, I'm just going to go. L3 had a, launch release, an opening overnight. I'm going to go on there and have a bit of a look. And then my cart was just like full of stuff. So a big L3 ready to ship coming as well. And then after that, it feels like I've ordered a whole bunch of stuff, but I haven't really. Like, the L3 was the only recent thing that I've ordered. The Super Tart, obviously the Super Tarts strawberry pound cake. Wasn't going to miss that, but I literally only ordered 3 cents. 2 of them, I got 2 band bags of each. I got 2 band bags of strawberry pound cake solo. I got 2 band bags of strawberry pound cake plus Palo Santo. And then I got 1 plus salty sea air. Because as much as I did love that sampler, but those were the only 3 cents that like really, really resonated with me. So for like a band bag size. So that's all I got there. I say all, but it was a big order because band bags cost a lot. And then my teddy bees. So those 2, the strawberry pound cake and the teddy bees, I reckon will forward out at the same time down the track. They're not ready to go yet. And then the only other thing I have planned to order, because I am still, even though the holiday's over, I am still trying, just forwarding costs are insane. So I really do need to, you know, keep the spending down and only forward out maybe once every 3 months and keep it smaller. I think I will be looking out. I know there'll be a few 4th of July sales. There usually is. And I think Kay often does a 20% off. I would like to get a few customs from Kay. So that seems to be like my once a year Kay order is when if she does a sale around that time, then I do that. So that's the only other thing I think I have planned. Anyway, that's it. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope you're all doing really well. I'll talk to you all again soon. Bye.